UK theme parks begin to reopen in less than 7 days. But what's open? Do you need to wear masks? And what other information do you need to know? All that in today's DAOTP news update. Hello you beautiful people. Adam here from DAOTP, and today we're going to discuss UK theme parks. So last week the UK government announced plans to reopen theme parks, or to allow theme parks to reopen on July the 4th. And now when these parks do start to reopen again, they will have to make sure they are COVID secure, and that is one of the main reasons why they've been allowed to reopen. So certain theme parks will be requiring masks, certain rides and attractions will remain closed, and a day out to a theme park is going to look a lot different for the time being. So we're going to go through all the major theme parks in the UK one by one and talk about what restrictions are in place, what rides will be open and closed, do you have to wear a mask, and all that kind of information. So let's begin with my local park, and that is Alton Towers. Now they have been trialling a partial reopening over the past couple of weeks. They did open the Alton Towers Gardens and Grounds a few weeks ago. Now obviously we have more information that the rest of the park will begin to open on the 4th of July, as well as all the social distancing markers and other measures that have already been put in place. One big change that will come into effect next weekend is the mandatory use of face masks or face coverings. So I'll take this directly from the website. In the FAQ section, which rides and attractions will I need to wear a mask on? Guests over the age of 6 will be required to wear a face mask on the following rides: Nemesis, Galactica, Oblivion, The Smiler, Wicker Man, Rita, 13, Enterprise, Blade, Runaway Mine Train and Marauders Mayhem. Guests are encouraged to bring a suitable mask with them when visiting or buy one whilst they're here. Guests will not be permitted to ride without a face mask unless they are under the age of 6 or have a certain medical condition or disabilities. They're asking guests to please contact the guest relations team if they have any questions about this. So all the links to the official websites will be down below in the description. So if you want to check out any more information, head down there and give it a click. So yeah, pretty much most of the rides on park will require a face mask. This could just be the list of rides that are actually going to be open on the 4th. At this point, we're not actually sure, as the website itself doesn't list any closed attractions. One thing we do, however, know that will be closed is the Alton Towers Dungeon. That definitely will not be open on July the 4th. And now other attractions such as Hex or Jewel, which are which are indoor attractions, I would hazard a guess they will remain closed initially, but there is no confirmation at this time. There is a mention on the website further down about face masks. It does say that they're not required on the water rides. However, it doesn't state specifically if the water rides will be open. My guess is because they are both outdoors, they will. So the two water rides that operate at Alton Towers currently are Battle Galleons, which is a splash battle, and the Rapids ride. So my guess is they will both be open, but there's no clarification at this time. Okay, moving on to the next Merlin theme park, and we're going to talk about Thorpe Park. So very, very similar, as this is another Merlin-owned attraction. Merlin Entertainments Group owned a lot of attractions in the UK. Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, and the next two parks, Chessington and Legoland, are also part of that same umbrella. So a lot of these rules are going to be pretty similar. So Thorpe Park, as well as all the temperature checks, social distancing, and all the other stuff we've mentioned, are also requiring guests to wear masks. Their wording is a little bit different on the website, so I'll read it out to you. Guests will be required to wear a face mask in order to go on a number of rides and roller coasters at Thorpe Park Resort. All guests will therefore need to bring a suitable mask with them when they visit our attraction. Face masks will also be available for purchase at the attraction should you require one. Only securely fitted face masks should be worn on rides for safety reasons, and we would recommend removing face masks on water rides in case they get wet. Face masks are not required for children under the age of 6 or for people with certain health conditions and or disabilities. So very similar wording to Alton Towers. However, this Thorpe Park don't state exactly which rides and attractions it will be on. It just says on a number of rides and attractions. So hopefully a bit more information will come out before the park opens. However, it's less than a week. I'm recording this on Sunday the 28th. The parks reopen on the 4th, which is Saturday. So it doesn't give them much time. But yeah, generally it does seem like pretty much any attraction where guests are going to be sort of closer than 2 meters together, face masks will be mandatory. That's what it seems like to me. Okay, moving on to Chessington World of Adventures. Again, another Merlin owned park. So what will be open on the FAQ of their website states the majority of our rides and attractions will be open. However, with government guidelines evolving, we will confirm nearer 4th of July exactly what aspects of the theme park will open, including restaurants and shops. Do keep checking back for the latest details. I've had a quick scour through the website as well. I can't find any mention of mandatory masks at Chessington. I imagine it will be the same as Thorpe and Alton. But at the moment, I can't see any mandatory use of masks listed. It does recommend you bring them with you. But I said, subject to change over the next couple of days. But at this current time of recording, there's no mention of mandatory masks. And over to the last of the Merlin theme parks here in the UK, and that's Legoland Windsor Resort. So their wording on face masks is very similar to the others. Do I have to wear a face mask or covering? Guests will be required to wear a face mask in order to go on a small number of rides at Legoland Windsor. We encourage guests to bring a suitable face mask or covering with them when they visit our attraction. Only securely fitted face coverings and masks should be worn on rides for safety reasons, and we would recommend removing them on water rides in case they get wet. Face coverings and masks are not required for children under the age of 6 or people with certain health conditions and or disabilities. So generally the rules do seem to be pretty similar throughout the attractions, a few little discrepancies here and there, but I think it's safe to say all of the 4 major Merlin theme parks will probably make you wear face masks on any ride, any coaster where you're going to get into within 2 meters of other guests. Okay, moving away from Merlin Entertainments now, and we're going to talk about Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So they were actually the very first park in the UK to announce the mandatory use of face coverings on their ride. Now they have stated, and we have already covered this in a previous video, that some rides may require you to wear a face covering, and again they advise you to bring a few, and they are going to be selling them in the shops. There was actually a This Morning news report live from Blackpool Pleasure Beach last week, and there was a little bit more information that they gave. They did state that guests will not be required to have a temperature check at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. However, the roller coasters, you will be required to wear a mask. So I assume it's going to work very similar to the Merlin parks. If you are getting within 2 meters of another guest, you will have to wear a mask. Now, from my understanding of this, it's part of the new 1 meter plus rule that the government have put in. So basically you can be within a meter of another person as long as there's other mitigating factors. So are you wearing a mask? Have you hand sanitized, or is there hand sanitizer available? That kind of thing. So as long as there's some other measure in place, like a face mask, you can sit technically within a meter of somebody else. And that seems to be the way these theme parks are going to be operating from the 4th of July. Okay, so over to Drayton Manor. So they also announced their plans to reopen the theme park on July the 4th. They're operating a little bit differently to the other theme parks. They're going to reopen in 3 phases. So the initial phase 1, from the 4th of July to Friday the 17th of July, they're going to be reopening the whole of Thomasland and the zoo with select family rides available. So those exact rides that are going to be open between the 4th and the 17th are the entirety of Thomasland with its 17 rides and attractions, Carousel, Jolly Buccaneer, Accelerator, Flying Dutchman and the Zoo. Now in terms of face masks and face coverings, the only thing they've got listed on their website in the FAQ section under face masks, they say guests can wear these across the park if they wish. Face mask will only be required within the Tamarin Trail to protect the animals. So that is a little walk-through area within the zoo where there are loose animals. So currently that is the only area of the park and the zoo that you will be required to wear masks. That could change, but that's currently how the website is worded. Now moving on to the second phase. So between the 18th of July, Saturday the 18th, and Saturday the 31st of October, so quite a while this one, the following rides and attractions will be open. Thomasland with its 17 rides and attractions, Carousel, Jolly Buccaneer, Accelerator, Flying Dutchman, the Zoo, the Bounty Pirate Ship, Maelstrom, Air Race, Shockwave, Polperro Express, Buffalo Coaster, Pandemonium, Apocalypse, Drunken Barrels, and Sheriff's Showdown. So that's the second phase. Expecting phase 3 will probably come after October potentially, if not 2021, depending on what happens over the next couple of months. However, Drayton Manor have been very honest with what rides will be closed, so the list of attractions that are closed until further notice due to the restrictions in place are as follows: the Dodgems, The Haunting, Emily's Adventure Play, 4D Cinema, Brian's Museum, Thomas Exhibition, Meerkat Manor, Stormforce 10, Terence's Driving School, Tiny Tots Play Farm, Reptile House, and Zoo Experience. So basically any of the indoor attractions around the park and zoo. To me, that seems quite a sensible approach, to just open limited stuff initially and then reopen more as they're allowed to as time goes on. Now over to the last park that I mentioned here in the UK, and that's Flamingoland. Now, they did reopen the zoo, I believe last week, but as of right now, time of recording this video, there's been no other announcement on when the actual theme park itself will reopen. The last update that Flamingoland gave was on the 15th of June, and they said the following. Following the government's announcement that zoos can now reopen, Flamingoland is trialling a responsible reopening to allow our valued guests the opportunity to visit the zoo, which we know many of you have missed. For the safety of our guests and the small team of zookeepers who are looking after the animals, numbers will be strictly limited and priority given to existing annual and resort pass holders. They have also stated, and again this was on the 15th of June, that at this time we remain unable to open our offices and customer service centre, so please be aware we are unable to respond to direct inquiries. That could be why they haven't released any further information about the park reopening. However, it does seem likely that should open soon. I mean, they're allowed from the 4th, so for me it seems a missed opportunity and a missed revenue stream to not reopen the park. So that is generally our little summary of the UK theme parks. I know there's a few I've missed. I know there's a couple like Porton Park and things like that, the littler ones. However, I think that's a good indication of which ones will be opening on the 4th, what restrictions are going to be in place, and all that kind of stuff, so you can really plan your day. Now, do remember, every single one of these parks will be requiring pre-booking. That is going to be mandatory for at least the next few months, so don't just expect to turn up to these places like you used to be able to do. And even if you own an annual pass, you will not be able to just turn up. You still have to book online. For the Merlin annual pass, pre-booking is now open for all of the theme parks at £1 booking fee per ticket. So that's something to bear in mind if you are wanting to book a trip. So all the information, like I said, will be down below, all the links to the individual theme park websites. So if you want to check out one in particular, do have a look and click the link below. We'll continue to update as more information comes out, and we are going to be in the majority of the parks over the next couple of weeks. We've got bookings already in place for Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, and we've got plans to head to Chessington and Blackpool Pleasure Beach over the next 2 weeks. So it's a great time to subscribe to this channel now to follow all the updates over the next few weeks. We will be doing vlogs at each of the parks, and also we'll continue to post daily updates like this as soon as more information comes out. As always, don't forget to visit the official DAOTP website at daotp.news for the latest breaking news from Disney and other theme parks around the world. Subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with all the video content and vlogs, and also while you're at it, please give this video a like, as it really does help us out. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next update. So thank you ever so much, and I'll see you all real soon.